Hey, only pour shot.
All right, welcome back, boys. Week 2 of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks podcast. We're here. We're going to start by going over, recap a little bit of last week, what went right, what went wrong, what we killed it on, what we did maybe not so great on. What are we thinking, boys?
All right, I'll start us off, boys. So as the leader of last week, 13-3, I'm proud to say that I pretty much saw that coming. You can't be right on everything, but only 3 games drawn out of the NFL. I mean, I think that's pretty solid. That's better than I feel like 90% of analysts on ESPN do. But I was wrong about a couple of things. So as a man, I do want to apologize to a couple people and organizations here. First off, I called Matthew Stafford noodle arm last week. And I was completely wrong about that. You know, obviously, he played my Colts, and in the first half, they dominated that game. Obviously, we rallied in the second half and forced overtime. But Matthew Stafford, one thing I'll say about him is he is insanely accurate. The windows he was squeezing that into was, I don't think I've ever seen it before. So, Matthew Stafford, I apologize. You're not noodle arm. You're insanely accurate. You make people like Puka Nacua look like Julio Jones in 2012. So, credit to Matthew Stafford. The next organization I want to apologize to, and the last organization I want to apologize to, is the Washington Commanders. I last week I said we're all on the Eagles, right? Assuming that nobody was taking the commies here, but they showed up. They made Jalen Hurts look like a rookie, and they forced overtime against a really good Eagles team. So I do want to apologize to the Commanders. Who I'm not going to be apologizing to is this guy over here, Mr. P. After everything I said, Mr. P had something to say to each and every comment I had. And if you look at the record up here in the top left corner, one of us is 13-3. The other one is what? 9-7?
Which one's
And
which? Which one's
yeah.
which?
Yeah, which one's which? But that's all I got to say. So P, I would just I would be a little quieter this time around. I got a lot of quick. That's all I'm saying.
I respect it, man. Respect your picks. You're the top dog. I'm not gonna talk trash.
Thank you.
I like to
Thank you.
poke fun at. I like to poke fun. I mean, we got that rivalry between the Jags and the Colts, so it's only natural that I'm gonna have animosity towards you. But
okay, we're good there then.
Interesting. I honestly, I kind of hammered it home that Stafford's still the dog. Got that.
You did.
Got that good. My picks were solid. 12-4. Tough look on the Packers game. I mean, we might as well just get that one out of the way and talk about that quick. As a Packers fan, not an ideal game. But coming into the season is kind of what we expected, right? We didn't expect to be like a really good team. We didn't expect to be like this dominant, like two. We didn't even expect to start like 2-1. Like honestly, my expectations coming in were like if we could be an edge like 500 team, 8-9 team, 9-8 team, super happy. And we kind of got brought back down to earth a little bit. There was some positives. Quay Walker outside his one penalty. I mean, that dude's just getting, what do you have, 17 tackles? Like, he's a dog. Russell Douglas struggled. Rudy Ford struggled a lot outside his one pick. But, I mean, Rashawn Gary might be a top 5 pass rusher in the NFL, and that's saying a lot because there is some really, really good pass rushers. I mean, Rashawn, every play is like, I don't know. There was definitely some positives. We got Watson back. He caught a touchdown on just a wide open play. Romeo Doubs looks legit. Another 8-catch, 90-yard game, mostly in garbage time. But I mean, I think going forward as a Packers fan, there's still hope. Jay Love came back down to earth a little bit, threw 2 picks. But I mean, he's a first-year starter. We knew that coming into this year, there's going to be some learning curves. And I think overall, going forward, our expectations are a little bit more realistic this year. But I still think, I mean, the NFC is so wide open. I think we could legit still be a playoff team this year, maybe an edge playoff team. But we'll see.
Yep. For my picks, I would say the ones I got right, definitely called those. Knew that was going to happen. The ones I got wrong, didn't see those ones coming. Never expected I would have gotten those wrong. So that's hard. But can't get them all right, I guess, unless you do. Packers, Lions. I'm watching that game, and I remember watching Rodgers' first season start. It wasn't great, but you saw when Rodgers was playing, you saw the flashes of talent where you knew in the future he was going to be a monster. When I watched Love play, I see something similar that gives me hope. My big concern for Love is he does not have any timing down at all with any of these routes that are being ran. Romeo Dobbs breaks wide open on the 5-yard line, so open. He doesn't get the ball. He breaks off his route wide open for a touchdown, and then Love throws the original route straight to the other team. That was probably the turning point when the Packers were mounting a comeback, and he threw that pick and basically lost all our momentum. And then even on the touchdown, he had a Christian Watson. Christian Watson, the Lions had a broken coverage. He's standing in the end zone, wide open, and Love just stares at him for like a full second and a half before he throws the ball. And I'm like, what are we doing? You hit when there's a broken coverage, you just hit him.
I think I screamed Watson 5 times at the screen before the ball was thrown.
There's something weird where he's like he's making reads, but he's not throwing the ball. He's just staring at him. I don't know if it's a timing thing. I don't know if he's like not comfortable, but I mean, I see the talent's there. I see talent.
I think he reminds me of Rodgers in a way where he like he's not throwing to receivers. He's throwing to points on the field. I think that's one thing he picked up from Rodgers a lot, where Rodgers isn't throwing the ball to receivers. He's throwing to where he knows the receiver is going to be. And that's why you just see like these bizarre throws sometimes where it's like he's throwing it and then it just looks like a terrible throw, but then he's just yelling at the receiver, just hounding him. Like, I think Love's had a couple of those where it's like, I don't know if it's fully on him. Like, it's hard to say, but I think I have seen flashes out of Love, which are exciting.
And that's the other thing too. Like, the oldest receiver on the team he's throwing to is the second-year receivers. It's all. I'm hoping they're gonna grow together,
or they're gonna
towards
burn
the end
together.
of the year. Yeah. Whatever's gonna happen, they're gonna do it together. I'll tell you that.
That's just the status of the Green Bay Packers together. Fans own the team together.
So
Packers
I do have to
quarterbacks
ask,
win a Super Bowl in their 3rd year together.
I do have to ask, directly following that game, I made a little compilation of us talking and then highlights of the game. I know we all saw it. Whoever's running the TikTok, why didn't we post that?
Well, you made a separate TikTok for our account and posted it there, so I figured I didn't have I wasn't gonna I didn't have the original TikTok to post. There's gonna be watermarks and stuff. You gotta get me the OG files so we can look professional here.
All right.
Or just ask me to post it. I mean, you have the login too. You can post it. We all got the
do I
login.
really? Okay.
I've
I've been putting the podcast on my back, social media wise. We got like 10 TikTokies throughout the week. I mean,
we're cooking.
Yeah, we're cooking a little
Shout
bit. We're
out
seeing
Crane
what's
Man
going
for
on.
putting in the hard work.
We're throwing chum in the
out.
water. We're seeing what's coming. You know.
Shout out Crane Man for getting this together, for all the work he does on the backside. We love Crane Man here.
Yeah,
real quick, just missed a lot of picks last week. Your boy did bad. Wallet hurts, heart hurts. Told my girlfriend, like, I thought I was him. I guess I'm just, like, I literally, like, Sunday night, I don't know ball. Like, that's what I'm saying to myself. Really lacking the confidence. Missed Goff. Missed my pick on Dak. The only pick that I, like, have pride in, I still lost. Like, I picked the Eagles, but, like, if you rewatch it last week, I was like, Commanders are covering for sure. It's going to be a dog game. We got a dog game. I still picked the Eagles. I mean, yeah. I guess I did win that one. Eagles won.
You nailed that.
I got that right. My bad. Yeah. But anyway, that's just kind of where I was feeling from last week. Very down overall, though. That's why I'm apologetic towards Connor. He owns me. He's dad this week.
I didn't just own you in the picks. I owned you by over 100 points in fantasy.
Yeah, but fantasy's different. Because I can't tell. I don't make my fantasy players play. Like, even if I played my best team, I would have not beaten you. Like, but my picks, I made my picks. Like, my picks were me. I let myself down there. Fantasy team's fantasy team. They're going to do what they want to do.
We should do a fun little, some type of podcast bet. Punishment maybe for whoever comes in last in their picks. We'll have Hefe. Hefe's obviously not here this week. Had a couple too many cervezas at the company workout on a Wednesday night here, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately. But he'll get his picks in. We could do a fun little punishment, maybe whoever comes in last, and maybe we can all chip in like $25 or something, and it all goes to the winner. do something along those lines. We could figure it out off the pod. I think that might be
A
fun.
weekly thing?
Yeah,
I'm cool with
we'll
that.
still keep making our picks. I'll keep updating it on the pod here, and we'll keep track going forward to see who knows ball, I guess, or see what's going on here.
I like it.
Did you want to give your opinion on the Packer Lions, Pete, before we move on to the next
Yeah.
games?
I just, I thought Green Bay, they definitely showed that they're still learning, still young as trying to work around Jay Love. I think the Lions are definitely as advertised. I mean, the one stat that stood out to me was the 48% QB pressures with 0 blitzes. I think that just speaks to like they get to the quarterback without even having to dial it up, and how much that can like you can drop 8 in the coverage and still pressure the quarterbacks wild. I don't know if that speaks to. I mean, the Lions D line is really good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know what Green Bay was looking up that front with. I know you had was a Bakhtiari still out, and so
Jenkins
you got some
out too. Yeah.
Jenkins. So you got some guys like filling in and stuff. But I mean, I Goff did what
No
he
excuses.
does. Like, did enough. Yeah, there's no excuses. Goff did enough, but with the team around him, all you really got to do is not sell. Honestly, after that first drive when he threw that pick, I'm sitting there like, oh, classic Goff. But he didn't follow. He was able to not fall down the slippery slope of like, okay, I threw a pick drive when this game's over. Like he's calmed it down. They ran David Montgomery 39 times into the earth, so it wasn't really Goff's game to lose anyway. So
Who's Jared Goff? Who's Jared Goff? I thought it was Jared Goof.
Jared Goof, yeah, I messed it up. We respect him till it's not 2018, 2019 Goff anymore. Okay, I gotta get that going in my brain because I still see him as the bum from the Rams.
He did come out and instantly throw an interception.
He did come out and instantly throw a pick, and I'm like, classic primetime Goff. But I mean, he protected the ball the rest of the night and looked pretty, made open throws. So
the most frustrating thing about that game that I forgot to add is just seeing our best player probably on our team right now touch the ball 5 times. Like he was probably on a pitch count. He was probably coming off injury. He was probably limited in the game plan. But it was just frustrating on a night where I thought Jones might be a dog to just not even get the ball.
To not show up, yeah.
And we also sat in pistol every single drive in the first half and couldn't do anything. That's probably the most frustrating thing to watch, is just watching them come out in the same formation and just run the same plays over and over. And it's like, and then you watch the flip side where Detroit's doing like these creative motions and reverses and like going play action, mixing it up. Like it's just creative play calling, and LaFleur was just pissing me off. I'm like, do something different. Like spread them out. Try anything else. Like the pass rush is killing us. Chip on Hutchinson maybe, so I don't have to watch Hutchinson's parents in the stands every other play.
Literally,
it's like the worst family in football. They're literally the worst family in football. I hate them.
It's so.
On that note, I have something to add. I did see something. You guys are Packers fans, so obviously you would know. Did Hutch go up to Jordan Love before the game and whisper a little something in his ear?
It looked like he molested him. It looked like he inappropriately touched him.
Okay. A final thought. I did think that the Lions used Hutch creatively. It was very interesting to see him on the inside, lined up over a guard. And I like that they're still kind of like finding his spot, because it seems like he very much can play every spot on the D line, left, right, interior, and like they're gonna make you pay attention to where he's at. And it's going to open up that defense too, because they could put him on the left side and then blitz on the right, but you're paying attention to double teaming Hutch, and it's just like crazy how much.
What's that position called? They call it like psycho or something, where he gets to line up wherever he wants, and
he's shading the outside. Yeah, he's like shades the outside of the guards and plays this weird like standing defensive tackle, like where he can just run right by your guard. It's crazy.
They do that with some other guys. I think Myles Garrett does that every now and then too.
Yeah,
like
when there was
TJ
that clip
Watt
of him,
and Micah Parsons, some of those just dog rushers. They get to play the psycho role for a couple plays.
Just never,
long third downs typically, but
Cool.
We try to give like a quick couple sentence summary of the rest of the games, game by game.
Maybe just big things that stand out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go. We'll shoot it off super quick here. Bears versus Commanders. Give me obviously the Commanders. I'm against the Bears here.
Do we want to do a recap, or are we going to the new games already?
We'll do a quick recap of just whatever's left of like. Was there any other big games that stood out we really want to talk about from last week?
I mean, I kind of touched on the Colts Rams,
That
but
was a good
I
game.
will say
A couple OT games.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson through three games looks like the best rookie out there. CJ Stroud looks really good too. I feel for Bryce Young because he's got Frank Reich as his head coach there, and the guy he got ran out of Indy last year, and he obviously can't call plays, and he's the one calling the plays for Bryce Young here. So I feel bad for Bryce Young. I think he's better than what he shows right now. Hopefully they get rid of Frank Reich after this year, and we can see what Bryce Young's really made of. But yeah, Anthony Richardson through 3 games, a rushing touchdown in each one of those games, which has never been done before. Not even Michael Vick. So I think Richardson's going to be a dog here.
I thought the Taylor Swift game was pretty good. I think I predicted Zach Wilson to have a good game, and he had his best game of the year. I think if he can keep growing, they could do something. If they just squeak into the playoffs, see Rodgers come back from a miracle Achilles recovery, that'd be pretty crazy.
The number one thing I liked about Zach too is you can see him on the sideline like saying that was my fault. We lost this game because of me. After the game, he's saying it's on me. You go back clips from last year. They're asking, is it your fault? No, it's on defense. Like he's brushing it off like the defense losses this game. This year he's taking self-ownership, which like quarterback is lots of play, but it's also mental, and you got to have leadership. And I think he's like, showing like, hey, I'm ready to do this in all aspects. I'm ready to play on the field. I'm ready to take ownership of the game. I'm ready to lead a locker room. It's going to take time. Who knows if he can flip that script enough to get that team to the playoffs. I mean, Lord knows they have the talent to make the playoffs with Blake Bortles as their quarterback. But like, I think, like
he's
you said, Zach is. Yeah, Zach's different now. Yeah.
And you could kind of see like the team like falling apart around him like last week, and it was kind of like similar from last year where like Garrett Wilson's like complaining about not getting the ball too much or similar. Just like obviously players aren't happy, and this week I feel like he kind of turned that tide around in a close game against the defending champs.
Down 17-0 in the first quarter. I think the whole team, you could feel it on Salah's face. You can feel it prime time against the Chiefs. You're down 17-0. Chiefs got the ball. You're like, they're going to make this 24-0. And you could feel the moment the defense got that safety, right? Offense is getting the ball back. Offense executes, gets points on the board. Like, to overcome a 17-point adversity in the first quarter, it just shows like more than Zach Wilson, but just how they kept their cool and executed and did business. And they lost the game, right? And losses are losses, but they definitely showed like they're here to compete still, no matter what. We lost Connor.
That's okay. Yep. We'll keep moving. We'll get him back in here at some point. I might have to drag him back. I don't know if you guys can see him in the other rooms or drag him.
I cannot.
But he's got the most he's so focused on that face right there. He's taking notes throughout the pod. Love it.
We locked. We love Connor.
I didn't even realize we lost him. I thought that was just.
I'll see if I can get him back in here quick.
It says unstable internet connection over his little profile pic. There he goes. So now that he's not in here, I wonder if we can bring him back.
Yeah, he's not in one of the rooms. I'm sure he'll get back in here. He lost internet or something.
Oh, we could do something until
the only other game I really wanted to touch on was just the Bears blowing a 21-point lead, and just like
that was wild.
The funniest fashion they could have lost. Like, that was awesome.
They could have 2 of the top first round picks this
year. They have 1 and 2 right now with Carolina's pick. Yeah,
that would be insane.
Who did they go? They go Caleb Williams Marvin or what?
I think they trade away the Caleb Williams pick for a king's ransom, similar to the Trey Lance trade. And then they take the best guy at 2.
Yeah,
if Fields is the guy, that's what they do.
I think we learned a lot this week, for sure, from around the NFL. The Bills, we learned are real. I was wrong about that. Yeah.
Josh Allen looked really, really good.
The Giants are atrocious. Giants competing for worst team in the NFL, for sure. After that Monday night, Danny Jones was crazy bad. Crazy bad. Chargers coach.
What are they doing with their offense? Darren Waller's targeted once.
I don't know what's going on in New York. I honestly looked like it was all on Danny. I mean, it just is. No Saquon. I get it, but
offensive line was a problem.
Offensive line was a problem. that was definitely they had a couple more injuries in that game, but yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's dog.
Should we hop into the game? 5 picks. Connor will get back in here eventually. He'll come back
Yeah.
and make up his picks. Let me pull them up quick for the boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
we can
Thursday
just-
nighter. All right, we'll just go with the picks quick. We can kind of speed run these.
Yeah, let's just hit
We don't
it.
have to go in depth on every game.
Josh, you can go after Jake, and then I'll just go last if we want to just do that way.
Bears,
that's
Commanders. Commanders are at home. Washington's a 6-point favorite. Over under 44.5. I'm gonna take the Commanders at home.
Yep, I am on the Commanders side on this one. The Bears are atrocious, and they're just gonna tank for the top 2 picks at this point, basically.
I'm on Washington as well. I think they're just more stably coached. I think, Sam Howell knows Sam Howell. I think Riverboat Ron gets a team out there that plays hard no matter who's on the field. And I just like that energy more than anything I've seen out of Chicago this year.
Justin
So-
Fields anytime touchdown. Plus 185.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears' offense scoring points is the gamble, though. Like, if they do, it's probably Fields, right? But
It's probably Fields or more, probably, right? It's gotta be one of those
yeah,
two. All right,
Yeah.
Texans,
Ooh,
Falcons.
that was good.
Texans,
You
Falcons.
don't wanna-
Falcons are at home.
you don't want to
Falcons
start
-2.
with the London game in the morning again.
Oh, I skipped right over it. I scrolled right past it. The Jags in London.
Back
down
to
2.
back.
Technically, they're away in this game against the Bills.
They're never away.
We'll do that. Jags,
Not-
Bills.
You can start it off.
Okay.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
I'll go Bills. Bills stay hot. Trust in Josh. It's Josh Allen versus T-Law. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. We'll take Bills.
Trevor hasn't looked great this year. I'm hoping he's going to get on track here at some point, and the Jaguars pull it together. But it's not going to happen this week. The Bills showed us who they were last week. I expect the Bills to roll through them.
You muted,
We
P.
lost.
The boys are going through it this week on the pod. Week 1 went way too smooth. We were due for some technical difficulties.
Dropping like flies. It was probably just his headset that died.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's Connor doing?
I'm assuming probably lost power or internet or something along the lines of both. Or Buddy had one too many fireball shots and couldn't hang.
All right, we're back. I got Jags in London. They don't lose. It's theirs. They own the over the pond. It's all Jags.
Who'd you take, Josh?
Bills.
Bills. Okay. Falcons,
It's gonna
Texans.
be a tough one.
Falcons at home. I'm gonna ride the Texans. Let's go CJ Stroud. He's been hot. I mean, wide receiver. They're a passing offense. Nobody thought the Texans were gonna come in and be a passing offense this year. I mean, they kind of just spread it out. Nico Collins looked really good last week. Tank looked good the week before. They got some weapons. Let's go Texans on the road to go beat the fraud, Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder is brutal. Also on the Texans side, CJ Stroud's been balling out. All the teams that have played the Texans so far have gone in with a game plan of we got to stop Dameon Pierce. Now that they're going to go in a game plan with we got to stop CJ Stroud. So it'll be interesting to see if CJ can keep putting up the numbers he's been putting up. But Tank Dell, Nico Collins, both balling out. We'll see which one hits the 2 touchdown game this week.
Yeah, I like Houston as well. I think I'm going to probably be picking Houston until Stroud has a rookie-like game because he's just being so efficient and protecting the rock right now.
Now we got Connor back in here as well. Love that.
Still says unstable.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him, but at least he's
I can hear you. I think I can
saw
hear
him in
you.
the thing, so we dragged him back.
1 second, boys. Sorry, the phone died.
Ah.
Yes.
So
Taking all those notes, forgot to check the power on the phone.
Not a sponsor of the show, so I'm gonna blast them. Never buy a charger from Five Below.
What are you thinking with this game, P?
You got
said
full
About what
text
game?
Connor.
Did you hear me? Did you hear
You
anything
said
I
the
said?
Texans, right?
Yeah, I said I like Houston. They're just, yeah, like Houston here.
Connor, you gotta flip your cam. You're sideways.
Connor, it says unstable connection still. I can't see you, but that's okay.
I can
Can you
see
see me,
you.
Jake?
I can see you, but your cam's messed up.
That's all that matters, as long as Jay can see you, because that's where the recording is.
Yeah,
There he
Yes, sir.
is.
Connor, you're gonna speed running through the games while you fix your cam here. Commanders, Bears, who you got?
I like the Commanders.
Okay, Jags, Bills in London.
Bills.
Okay, Falcons, Texans in Atlanta.
I like the Texans.
Okay, and then we're on to our next game. Flip your cam sideways, Connor, so you're full screen for us.
Did you
Yeah.
do the Thursday one? You did the Thursday
There
one,
you
right?
go, perfect. Yeah, we did Thursday.
Jake,
Yeah, he just
Okay.
I'm
picked through all
dropping
of them.
off and rejoining, Jake.
What'd you say?
I'm dropping off and rejoining.
You are? Okay. What's
I
going
can't
on,
hear. I can't hear anyone.
boys?
Okay.
Okay, get him out of
The
here.
cord. The cord is
Get him out of here, boys.
the cord is being corded.
Let's all shoddy a beer in the meantime. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. And then since I did miss the recap a little bit, there is one more team I wanted to mention. The Dolphins and the Bills here. Dolphins get sent back to earth after a 70-20 win. I did not see that coming. But I think that's just a credit to Josh Allen and those boys over there. Stephon Diggs, I mean, they didn't want to tackle him, dude. I mean, he went off for 3 touchdowns. What a dog.
Love that. All right, let's move on to the next game, boys. Lions, Panthers. Lions at home.
Good one here. But like I've said on the podcast, even today, I think Frank Reich is the worst coach in the NFL behind Matt Eberflus. I said that last week as well. When Frank Reich's calling the plays, you're not going to win. That's just how it is. And the Lions are hot right now.
Number
Not
one
gonna
Frank Wright
do that.
hater.
I am a Frank Reich hater, and for that reason, I'm taking the Lions. And I take the Lions -10 here.
I think I'm going to be the only I mean, this is a weird, it's bold pick on my end. The Lions just lose to weird teams. And the Panthers owned the Lions on the ground last year, rushing for like 250, 300 on them. And the Seahawks also beat the Lions last year and had their number again this year. We're going to take the Panthers as huge dogs, second biggest dogs of the week. We're going to take Panthers.
Panthers are terrible. The Lions tend to play to the level of the opponent. Last week was an anomaly, but I imagine it's going to be an ugly game, and the Lions pull out a win.
Right, too. I think they take care of business. I don't think this Lions team is the same team that I'm used to watching. And I think that they are going to win a lot more games that they normally lose.
Love it, boys. All right, Titans, Colts. Colts at home, both 2-2. Titans are 2-point favorites.
Okay, so there's a lot of question marks with this game, especially surrounding JT. I called it last week before the pod. It wasn't on air, but I did say JT might be returning this week. Big P called me out for that. But, yeah, so he's back, but that does not mean he's going to play. Do I expect him to play? I think it's 50-50. I don't think he's going to play, though. I think the only reason they're bringing him back is probably because he's got to come back eventually, right? And then also to send smoke screens to the Titans. Don't let them know what running back to prepare for, whether it's Zach Moss or Jonathan Taylor. I don't think Taylor's back, but I do think the Colts win this game. Anthony Richardson has showed that he's dynamic. He doesn't have many guys to throw the ball to, but you don't need to when you're 6'4", 240, and you can run the ball like no other quarterback.
Interesting stat in this game. Titans are 0-2 on the road. This game is on the road. Colts are 0-2 at home. This game's at home for the Colts, so something's got to give here. I'm going to go Titans. I think I have kind of the opposite take of Connor in the sense of I think they're not only going to use JT, I think they're going to run JT into the ground and give him like 20, 30 carries every game just to be like, I hope you get hurt. I honestly feel like they have such ill will to JT that they're going to try and overuse him or hurt the rest of his career this year, and they're going to run him into the ground. But I like the Titans. Titans win.
You think JT plays then?
Yeah, I think JT plays.
Okay.
You want to pull Jeff in?
Oh, he's in here? Uh-oh. This could get dangerous.
Well, as you're pulling him in, I'm taking... This one's close. I don't know. The Titans got a really good run defense. I don't know if I feel super confident about Anthony Richardson pulling it out through the air, but I'm still going to ride with the Colts.
Okay.
All right, what I miss?
We'll catch you up in a sec. Pete, make your pick, P, and then we'll catch halfway up here.
Yeah, this is a close one. I think it's Titans after what they just did at Cincy. I think Indy loses another close heartbreaker. Titans probably pull this one out.
Okay. Flip your camera for us, Hefe. Go sideways.
Oh
get-
yeah, all right, I gotta do that
Get
shit.
full
Hold up.
view Hefe in here. Love that. Let's go, baby.
I've been drinking since 5 after work, so I'm kind of a little bit fucked up.
What are you sipping on?
Two Hearteds and
Oof.
tequila.
Oof.
Two Hearted's heavy.
Double.
What a combo.
Double trouble
What
for
an
the
absolute
kid.
combo.
Yeah.
So, all right, what games have we gone through? Let me.
We're
give
gonna
you
catch
my,
you up.
Listen, I try to be sharp, and it just didn't work. So
We're
I'm
going to
just going
speed
with my
run
gut.
your picks, Hefe, really quick just so you can get caught up, and we'll go right back
All right,
in,
hit
all
it.
right? All right, Bears
it.
Commanders.
I trust in the Bears.
Jaguars Bills.
Bills
In London.
Well, it's London. Bills. Yeah, Bills.
Texans Falcons.
Texans.
Panthers Lions.
Falcons or Panthers cover. Lions win.
Okay. Titans Colts.
Divisional game. What time is it? Is it
1
at
o'clock
1?
game. 1 o'clock game. In Indy.
Yeah, let's go Titans because fuck Connor, right?
Oh, come on, dude.
All right, you're caught
What's the
up.
spread on that? I don't know what the spread is.
It's Tennessee -2
In Indy?
in Indy.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'll go Tennessee.
All right, you're caught up, Hefe. Next game we're just running through the picks quick. We got Giants at Miami. Miami's biggest favorite of the week, -11. I'll take my free square. I'll take Miami.
Giants are the biggest favorite?
Dolphins. Dolphins are 11-point favorites.
What's he
Yeah,
sipping?
I was like, that doesn't sound right.
What do you
But
got, Connor?
Saquon's gonna be back. All right, who's going? Someone go.
All right, I'll start it off here, boys. I thought you were going to take it, Jeff, but I guess the tequila's talking to you. The Giants have shown they cannot protect Daniel Jones, and when you can't protect a quarterback, you can't expect them to produce. I think it was 8 or 9 sacks on that primetime game the other night. When you can't protect the quarterback, you're not going to win football games. It starts in the trenches. So give me the Dolphins, and I think they smoke them. But, yeah, we'll see here. -11, I do like it.
I'm going also Dolphins. This is a nice bounce back game. Dolphins gonna dominate. All the fantasy players are putting up huge points this week.
I'm going Fins.
Love it.
Yeah, so Saquon's back. So yeah, let's
So,
go Giants.
Oh,
cares?
I like it. Okay.
Let's go Giants because Saquon's back.
They got to be plus like 320 or something too.
Listen, Miami.
Are we feeling a little sprinkle?
Defense is garbage. Miami's defense is garbage, and Giants aren't a good team. And anytime they play a good team, they lose. So like the Giants aren't a good team, but Saquon,
Fair. All right, boys. We got
A lot of points
Saints
from
at Patriots. New England's -1 in the lowest over/under. Ooh, second lowest over/under of the week at 40.
All right, I'm going first. Gonzalez is hurt. They just traded for J.C. Jackson, and the Chargers are paying most of the money to get J.C. Jackson back there, and J.C. Jackson sucks. So I'm going Saints. And Jonnu Smith's out. I'm going Saints.
Kamara's back. I do think this is probably going to be one of the closest games of the week. It's hard to pick a side here, but Derek Carr's playing, right?
Yes.
For that reason, I'm going to go Saints here.
I'm going to ride Saints too. Kamara's back. Patriots don't know what they're doing at QB. Mac Jones looks awful. We'll ride Saints.
defensive struggle. Gonna be the Saints in the end.
The Saints offense is a fluster. I've been reading reports about how they are all frustrated about how it's the same issues every year, and they're getting frustrated what they can't put up points. Camilla was back last week, so that's not really new news. And Derek Carr still might not be 100%, even if he plays. He's doing with that AC. We all see with Burrow what happens when you play hurt and you're not 100. So I think New England probably wins here defense, and you got two solid running backs. Don't matter about Mac Jones. Patriots win in the Patriots way.
Nice. All right. Ravens Steelers in Pittsburgh. Baltimore's a -4 favorite. 38 over/under.
I am taking the Ravens here. I believed in him last week. I do think Lamar may be a little bit overrated, but I do think he's very, very good. I don't know if the Steelers have the personnel to compete with him or stop Lamar. For that reason, I'm going Ravens here.
Pittsburgh burned me last week. We ride Ravens.
Steelers offense is lost. It's going to be the Ravens.
Is Pittsburgh at home?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's winning.
I agree.
Is it Trubisky playing?
We don't know yet, but even if he
Pickett's
better
playing.
than Pickett.
Pickett's going to play. Pickett said himself in an interview today, I'm playing.
I don't care. Steelers, Mike Tomlin.
yeah.
Doesn't finish under 500. Give me Tomlin.
Okay. All right, we got Eagles, Rams. Rams are at home. Over under 50.5. Eagles are 4.5 point favorites.
Puka?
All
right. Someone go.
All right. So watching the Rams last week, that first half was insane. They put on a clinic against my Colts. They looked like the best team in football for that first half. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know if they changed the scheme or if the Colts just figured them out. But that second half, they gave up a lot of points and allowed the Colts to force overtime. I think after a 23-0 first half. You can't do that against the Eagles. They're going to burn you if you start playing slack like that. I do think Jalen Hurts is underperforming this year, but I think he figures it out this week. For that reason, I'm going Eagles.
I think this is one of the hardest weeks in the NFL to pick games. I was looking at the whole slate of games. There is so many games I feel could go either way. I'm going another dog here. Stafford's looked really good. The Rams have looked a lot better than people thought they would look coming into the year. You get Cooper Kupp probably back this week. He practiced in full today and was looking like a dog going through those ladder drills. Cooper, and Puka. I mean, we ride Rams.
I wanted to pick the Eagles, but something about this game is telling me the Rams are going to pull off the upset. I think the Rams offense rolls. Kupp gets right back into what he's been doing all last year. Rams win.
A lot of the Eagles secondary is hurt still.
Mm-hmm.
You get cut back. Puka's eaten. I got both of those guys on my fantasy team, so I gotta root for them. Give me the Rams.
I think I'm taking Philly here. I think their offense, even though it did take overtime against the Redskins, I think they finally figured out how to balance it all.
Whoa!
Yeah, we
Whoa.
don't even know.
They didn't even play the Skins.
Dude, the Indian tribe's petitioning to bring back Redskins. I'm acknowledging that. Okay, the own tribe is like,
Indian
we
lives
bring
matter.
it back. No, you're showing the loyalty to the actual. It was like a tribe, and it was like a memorable thing for them. And then when you took that from them, they said you actually harmed them more than you helped them by changing the name. Anyway, yeah, okay, we'll go Commanders. I'm gonna say that Philly wins the game. Got the offense dialed last week, even though it went to OT. So,
all right. Another battle of the 1 and 3 teams here. We got Bengals, Cardinals. Arizona's at home, and Cincy's a 3-point favorite.
This one's just interesting to me. Joshua Dobbs has looked really good. Joe Burrow has not. I do think Joe Burrow eventually has to figure it out. I mean, obviously still hurt, like I said, but I do think Cincy figures it out here. Jamar Chase, he's finally clicking with an injured Joe Burrow. I think it's gonna be too much for the Cardinals to stop, so I'm going Bengals.
I think Cincy figures it out a little bit as well. I'm going to ride Cincy.
I think the Cardinals are looking good. Their offense is surprisingly looking good. And when the Bengals lose this game, I think they sit Joe for a few games, get him 100% healthy. Because after the Bengals lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
You don't sit Joe Shiesty. Joe Shiesty can play.
Cardinals.
You play Joe Shiesty. Joe Shiesty
Joe
isn't
Burrow.
sitting. He's not
Cardinals.
sitting.
I think the Bengals win. Cardinals have been playing well, but their defense is such a liability. I think the Bengals probably figure out their offense this week and win by 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cardinals just because Joe Shiesty got paid and turned into fucking Home Alone kid. So fuck that guy.
He He does weirdly look like the Home Alone kid.
Oh.
We got Jets Broncos in Denver. Denver's 1.5 point favorites. I'm gonna ride the Jets.
Yep, I am on the Jets side. I think Zach Wilson keeps getting better after his last performance.
I don't think Sean Payton can coach the game. I think he's almost as bad as Matt Eberflus and Frank Reich. That guy sucks, man. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, Zach Wilson gets his win this week.
Nathaniel Hackett revenge game. We're all on the
There
Jets.
you go.
That is
There you
true.
go.
I didn't think about that at all.
All on the Jets.
Love that. Chiefs Vikings in Minnesota. Chiefs are 4 point favorites in the biggest over under of the week, 52.5.
They're only 4 point favorites.
Yep.
Give me the Vikings.
I'll say it.
Fuck that.
In Minnesota.
Oh no,
I-
Vikings cover. Vikings cover. Chiefs win.
I think the NFL is rigged. If you watched any of the highlights from last game, there's the Sauce Gardner holding flag, which is thrown after the interception. I think the NFL's got it out for the Chiefs with the Kelsey Swift combination. For that reason, I don't think Roger Goodell lets the Chiefs lose. So I think Chiefs win here.
I'm gonna ride Chiefs.
Chiefs all
Fuck a-
day. is not
Fuck
gonna
a
be
Taylor
playable.
Swift.
I'm not a fan, but
Is she gonna be at the game?
Probably,
it'll be a
but who
game.
cares? She's
good
bad
for the
for
brand.
She's not going to
publicity.
Minnesota. Come on now.
If Taylor's at the game, it's a guaranteed win.
I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, it should have been. Kelsey should have done something last week too, but
He
Whatever.
sold me in fantasy. It's all right though. He'll get it when it matters. Like this is regular season fantasy. We just got to get a ticket to the ship. Get a ticket to the big game.
For the dance.
Get us in the
You gotta get
playoffs
tickets
and
to
let
the
Kelsey
game.
cook then. We got Cowboys Niners in San Fran. San Fran's a 4 point favorite at home.
hammer the boys +4. Lock. That's my lock. That's my lock. Hammer the boys +4. Lock
Who are you taking to win?
the week.
Who's winning?
The boys.
Okay. I think I'm with Jeff here. I think good defense cancels out a good offense. I'm going Cowboys here. I think Christian McCaffrey still has a great game. Look out for Ayuk, but I do think the Cowboys pulled this off in the end.
I'm gonna take Niners. 4-0. They've looked just unstoppable. I think it is gonna be a closer game. But I think maybe the Cowboys cover, but I think the Niners win.
A little worried about Brock Purdy going up against that defense, but I'm still riding with the Niners.
I'm Niners all day as well. I think it's not even close, honestly. The boys have been exposed once this year. The Niners don't have a weak spot in their fucking team, in the organization.
Niners might be one of the
Brandon
best teams
Aubrey-
we've seen in football in a long time. The Niners are.
Brandon
a while.
Aubrey, 15 field goals, wins the game. Okay.
All right, I'm hammering that. Give me the odds.
15 field
Million to
goals. What
one.
are the odds on that?
Yeah.
Breaks the NFL record by 9 field goals for a game.
Man was going to kick a 65-yard field goal last week to tie the record.
There you go. Key phrase was going to. Key phrase.
Last game pick for the week, boys. Packers Raiders in LA. Devontae Adams revenge game. Give me a Devontae Adams anytime touchdown and take out a loan on the house and put the mortgage on it. Packers win on the road against a not great team.
This one's tough for me. This is also one of the hardest games to predict this week for me. I think it's going to be very, very close. I'm going Raiders here. I have to.
Packers all day. Jair shuts down Devontae.
Whoa.
Is Jair back?
If Jair's not back, I'm still taking the Packers, but Devontae's no longer shut down.
TBD.
Oh, it depends if Garoppolo plays. Because Aiden O'Connell looked like doo-doo. And the Chargers defense is doo-doo. And Staley needs to get fired because he's doo-doo. Either way, I don't know.
Let him cook.
I don't know.
He's cooking something here. Let him cook.
Yeah, if Jair plays, I'll go Packers. Because you locked down, but Jacoby's pretty decent this year. So like, yeah, I still. Who's home?
LA.
LV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still go Packers. I go Packers. I'll take Packers.
All right, I'm switching my pick. Jimmy G still in concussion protocol. It's 50-50 if he plays. Most of the time they play, but if you were like Anthony Richardson, you don't. I don't think they have a chance if Jimmy G doesn't play. I'm going Packers.
I hate that Connor flip flopped. Hate that.
Had to.
Just in the gut, like can't ride against the gut. I feel like the
I
Packers
think I'm
are
going-
now, but I can't.
I got-
I can't pick against the
That's a
Pack.
jinx.
I'll take the
that's a
Packers
jinx
as
on the
30-point dogs. It doesn't matter. I'm taking the Pack.
I'm going Raiders. I think just to Jeff's point, the Chargers coach is atrocious. I think they played a really good game last week. One dude had 6 sacks and it was almost an overtime game. So the quarterback might not be it, but I think they beat the Pack here.
P, you have a future on the Pack to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, doesn't.
We got to win games like this if we're getting to the Super
I
Bowl.
got to get the pick'em rates up, and the Raiders showed a lot of grit last week. I mean, it was an unfortunate win, and those fans are hungry. They're at home. I mean, the Pack.
Hefe, when Hefe was gone, you didn't hear this, Hefe, but we're going to come up with a punishment for last place on the picks, and we're going to do a little prize for whoever gets first. We'll figure something else out, like in the group chat.
Well, that was me this week. Because I thought I was
Just
sharp.
overall. We got a lot of weeks to go.
I was trying to be sharp. I wasn't sharp.
A lot of weeks to go.
But I was trying to be.
That's normally what happens.
I thought I could beat Vegas. I didn't beat Vegas. That's how it usually goes.
It's all right. All right, boys. Let's move into our next little segment here. We each prepared our own little, some type of segment, some type of game. I don't know what you boys brought to the table. Did you want to start us out on that, Connor? What you got for us today?
Yeah, I got us. So first segment for me is I want to talk about Jonathan Taylor. I talked about it slightly for the Colts game. Like I said, I don't think he plays this week. I think most of the NFL is kind of following the national media here, but I do follow the indie media very, very closely every day. JT's activated. He's brought back. He's practicing. He practiced today, but a key note I want to note for that is that media availability was not available today. So nobody could talk to Jonathan Taylor. For that reason, I really think he's not going to play this week. So if you got him in fantasy, you have to sit him. I think it'll probably get announced either Saturday or Sunday. But I'm sitting JT if I have him this week. I do think he eventually plays for the Colts. He's got a 21-day window here where he has to play or else he's out for the rest of the season. But don't look for him to get traded. That's not going to happen, at least not this season. I do think going into next year, if you have him in Dynasty, there's a potential he gets traded. But, the Colts can franchise tag him. And if I'm the Colts, I'm franchise tagging him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with JT. I think it's a possibility he gets traded next year. But as of this year, don't play him this week. I would look for him to play next week if you are a JT owner.
If JT gets franchise tag next year, he's going to commit a terrorist act against that organization.
Yeah, the relationship is not good, especially between him and Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay had some funny comments. I think it was something along the lines when Jim Irsay was referring to himself, he goes, "When I die, when JT dies, no one's going to miss us. We're the NFL. We move on." That's a weird thing to say during a negotiation there. And on top of that, I said I was going to mention this week, Takate the whale, killer whale, orca. Jim Irsay donated, I think, several $1 million to transport that whale from wherever it was being kept to the ocean to release it back into the wild. And literally the day before they were supposed to fly that thing in a Boeing 747 that was outfitted to carry a freaking whale, the thing dies. So I think that's an omen for the JT relationship with the Colts. Like I said, look for him to get franchised next year and look for him to play next week.
I didn't understand a single thing in that analogy that just happened.
It was not an analogy.
Something
Actually,
about whales. Yeah.
Takate, look it up.
Not a big whale guy.
Alright, bro. I have a
wasn't
question for
confusing.
Connor. Can I ask Connor a question?
Yeah.
I want you to pretend. I want you to just put your mind into JT's mind. Why would you ever suit up for Indy ever?
I don't think it's a thing against the fan base. I think it's strictly on Jim Irsay. And I mean, look, when you're dealing with Jim Irsay, he's a wild guy. He's the
You're
longest.
dodging the question. Why would you suit
He's
up?
Family's got to eat.
he's been the owner in the NFL for the longest out of all the owners, longer than Jerry Jones and all those guys.
So you're saying why he wouldn't,
I'll get
but why would
Let
he?
me finish my segment here. He's a wild guy, man. I mean, he's got a DUI for, I believe, cocaine. So when you get into those kinds of things, it affects you in your old age. But if I'm JT, I don't look at it between me and Jim Irsay. I look at it as me and the fan base, and then I also look. If I'm JT, we got Anthony Richardson on that offense. JT doesn't want to carry it 30 times a game. That's going to shorten your career. Anthony Richardson's going to eat into a lot of his carries. I think JT, once he's 100% and he's playing, I think he's going to be somewhere right around 20 carries a game. And if you go to anywhere else in the NFL, I mean, you don't know what you're going to be carrying. You could be carrying 30 times a game. And JT's a money guy, so if you carry
think
30 times,
JT cares about touches? I'm just being real with yourself. You
I
think
do.
JT's sitting there like,
he's
I'm
a
going to
money
show
guy.
up
You
because
know that he's a money guy. So when you carry it 30 times a game, your career is going to be shortened by 1 to 2 years. I think that's what's going to happen with McCaffrey. We're going to see him pop off for this year and maybe next year, but then there's going to be a steep drop off, and that's pretty common with running backs. You don't see a lot of running backs performing at a high level past the age of 30. I think Raheem Mostert's the one exception, but I mean, look at him last week. Nothing insane. I think Devon Achane's taking over
You can
that
look at
offense.
Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore, and if you're actually good, you do produce past 30.
Frank Gore was consistent.
That's
I
the
wouldn't say it was good.
exceptions.
We had Frank Gore on the Colts.
Yeah, John Taylor should be an
31.
exception. King Henry should be an exception. These are guys that are best in the NFL, potential top 10 all-time candidates. They should be able to play past the age of 30. Otherwise, they're out of that conversation.
JT
With
top
the
10 all
exception
time.
of last week, if you look
Not
at
yet.
Derrick Henry, it's not been good. That's just what happens. It is a proven fact. When you take that kind of punishment on your body, you can't play as long. Frank Gore, you mentioned Frank Gore. He played on the Colts. I saw him on the Colts. I think he was 31, 32 when he played for the Colts. He was nothing. I mean, he averaged 3-4 yards a carry, had no speed. That's not dynamic.
What about 26-year-old Anthony Richardson that your team traded their first-round pick for? Or Anthony Richardson. Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson. I'm getting confused with the bum
that was in
Richardson.
the previous regime with Ryan Grigson. I hope that guy
Same
never
owner.
gets a shot to be a general manager.
Like the NFL is owners, bro, they make the real shots. Irsay is
sir.
closer to a Jerry World. I would say Irsay is probably one of the more hands-on owners in the NFL. And he makes calls. Why do you think he's sitting here saying, I'm not going to pay my running back, and his running back throws a fit and leaves? Because he knows that if the owner thinks that, then the coach and general manager also think that. Yeah, get out of here.
I don't disagree with you here. I think literally it was all Chris Ballard, who was the Colts GM. I think he had the reins for 95% of the decisions. I think, and it's been documented that Jim Irsay gives his input, but he left the decisions up to Chris Ballard. When we go, I forget where we were at to start last season, and we fire Frank Reich. I think that's the point where tides turned and Jim Irsay became a lot more hands-on. So right now, Jim Irsay is a lot more hands-on than he was in the past. But up until mid last year, it was all Chris Ballard and Frank Reich, and look where that got us. So I don't hate Jim Irsay. Do I think he's going to make the best decisions for the team? I really don't. I don't think he's a good general manager when it comes to that. But I do think I think more and more you're going to see Chris Ballard take the reins again. It's his team. Jim Irsay doesn't want to deal with it, and I will say the Colts are in trouble after Jim Irsay unfortunately passes away, because it's getting passed down to his daughters. And we know how, I don't want to be sexist here, but when women manage or own NFL teams, it's not good.
Well, watch how they officiate. They officiate terribly, too. All right, boys, let's move on to the next segment. My segment's going to be a little bit more interactive for all the boys. Let's get everyone involved here. We got the fun version. Everyone knows the fun. Classic game, like shag one, kill one, marry one. Boys, we're doing the fantasy football edition of that. So strap in real quick. We got start one, sit one, cut one. We're talking normal fantasy league, 10-team PPR. I'm going to give you 3 options each. We're going to go one by one. You're going to start one, you're going to sit one, you're going to cut one. We're going to get into some dilemmas here, boys.
Is it
First-
redraft or dynasty?
Not dynasty, just
Okay.
regular season long, PPR. Start one,
You
sit
messed up
one,
his
cut one.
quote.
If
All right.
all three of these people are on your team, you're just asking the people who to start.
They're not. I mean, all three of these guys are on at least one of my teams, but it's not for that purpose. I just tried to pick guys that were like similar category guys.
Don't let
I
him
don't
take
need your
advantage of
insight
you,
at
Jeff.
1 and 3, Hefe, on
That's what
how
I'm
to start my
saying.
team.
I'm not trying to get taken advantage of.
All right, so we got the first one we got is Cooper Kupp, Puka Nakua, and Keenan Allen. Start one, sit one, cut one.
Yeah, so the Chargers are on a bye, so I'm gonna say
Not for this
Jake
week.
Keenan.
Not for this week. Going forward, who would you want on your team? Start one, sit one, cut one.
Well, I would want Keenan because I don't know what the Puka and Cooper Cup.
Hefe,
situation
so
is gonna
do you
be.
know what that means? That means you start him. So you go start Keenan.
Yeah,
Keep talking,
so
bud.
I'm gonna start Keenan.
Okay, who we got next?
I don't know what the fuck's going on in the
Start,
situation with the
sit,
Rams.
cut.
You made Jeff think too hard.
Keenan, and then the last two are interchangeable.
Okay, Josh, go.
All right, I think you start Keenan, sit cut Puka.
Okay, interesting. What you got, Big P?
I'm the same as Josh. I think I'm cutting Puka as well.
Interesting. What do you got, Connor?
Is this season one or is this just for this week?
Season one.
Season one. Okay, so I'm trading Cup. Cup's value over the last couple of years. has been
Start,
insane.
sit,
I didn't know
cut.
trading was an option.
You got three
What are we
options. Start,
doing?
sit, cut.
All right,
yo,
all right.
yo, can I trade Cooper Cup for Amon Ross? Yo, can I trade him?
Okay, I'll start Cup. I'll sit Puka Nakua, and I'll drop Keenan Allen.
That's crazy.
I'm going to start Cooper. I'm going to bench Keenan. I'm going to drop Puka. And then Cooper comes back, kind of takes his regime back over. All right, next round of the game, boys. Do we kind of get the flow of how this goes? Wait, that was a tough first outing, but here we go. We got.
Well, you didn't make it clear. You're like week 5. I mean, fucking the Chargers are on bye. So
It's
what
for
do
the
you
full
mean?
season. It's for the rest of the season going forward. All right, Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud. Start one, sit one, cut one. What do you got, Hefe?
Start Anthony Richardson. Guy's gonna be a top 10 quarterback in fantasy.
Yes.
Bench C.J. Stroud, and I don't even know who the third guy you said
Jordan
was,
Love.
but yeah, fuck him.
All right, what do you got, Josh?
Yep, unfortunately, I might have to agree with Jeff. I'm starting Anthony Richardson, sitting Stroud, cutting Love.
What do you got, Pete?
Same thing.
Connor?
I'll mix it up, boys. I like obviously we all saw this coming. Start AR. We're gonna bench Jordan Love. He showed a lot of fantasy potential this year so far. And Stroud, he has two, but he's a rookie. It takes a little bit for them to get going, so I'm cutting Stroud.
I'm going to follow same suit. I'm going to cut Stroud. We'll bench J Love just because he's my guy. What are we doing, Josh? Part owner of the team, you're cutting your guy.
Yeah,
I
listen,
know.
sometimes you
We'll
gotta
start
be
AR.
biases
AR
aside,
is going to be a
okay?
fantasy dog, I think. So that's what we're going to go there. We'll do one more for you boys, and then we'll move on to the next segment here. Let me cook up a quick
Someone
one
get
here.
this man his keys.
I'll let you
Someone
guys
get-
pick. Do you want tight ends or you want running backs for this next? What do we want?
RBs.
Fullbacks.
Tight ends is harder, I think. Maybe a little bit.
Well, that didn't help me. We got fullback. Okay, all right. Let's just ride.
Whichever one's more difficult.
We'll ride tight ends. We got Laporta,
I like that.
Hawkinson, Kittle. Start one, bench one, cut one.
Laporta, Hawkinson, and Kittle. Kittle's getting cut.
Yeah, Kittle's getting cut. I agree, Jeff. You're sharp tonight, man.
Yeah.
Booze this kid up.
Hawk. I'm starting Hawk because that's a pass first offense, and I'm benching Laporta.
It's a pass.
I think I'm starting Laporta, benching Hawk, cutting Kittle.
I'm with Josh. I think I'm also starting Laporta here. Hawks on the bench, cutting Kittle.
What do you got, Connor?
I will start Hawk. I'll go against the group here. I think he's due here. He's a fantasy monster. I think he's tight end 1 when it's all said and done. I'll bench Laporta, but it's very close between him and Laporta. And then I'm cutting Kittle.
Connor, who's leading the league in tight end receiving yards right now? I'm just curious.
That's Laporta, but I think Hawkinson runs away with it at the end.
I'm gonna go Hawkinson 1. I'm gonna go Kittle 2. Laporta is getting cut, which might be a hot take. But I think at some point either Debo or Ayuk is gonna shift in and out every other week, and Kittle's gonna have a more dominant role in games that should hopefully be a little closer because they've had a lot of blowouts. Little Kittle bounce back.
Crazy
You know?
take.
I don't know. It's
Crazy.
my game. This is my fun game.
It's his game.
Let me cook.
Let him cook his game.
All right, boys. Who wants to go next on what they brought for the
I'll go.
group?
I'll go. So I'm doing the trade away, trade for players. I'm going to name a player. I'm going to make a case for why I think that's a trade away or trade for candidate. And then we can go one by one. And if you want to give your response or just agree with me, that's fine. So my first trade away candidate, we're going Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp comes back. Matt Stafford feeds wide receiver 1. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 1. Puka, I don't know if he's going to be startable in fantasy after a couple weeks. He might be able to carve out a role for himself, but I think Kupp's going to take over that offense again, and Puka's going to be a background player. What do you guys think? This is the height of Puka's value right now.
I'll go first here. I'm going to disagree with you, actually. Sean McVay's offense, you're right. He features one wide receiver. It's really not even a physical specimen. I don't think anyone's going to say here that Cooper Kupp is super athletic or he's one of the best receivers to ever come into the NFL. I think it's literally just the way Sean McVay schemes things. But I'm going to disagree with you for the reason that I don't think Cooper Kupp's 100%. I think any Twitter fantasy doctor is probably going to agree with me here. I have looked into Cooper Kupp myself, and I don't like the injury. I have concerns about it. So if he ends up re-aggravating it season, then Puka runs away with it, obviously. And I don't think he's 100%, so that's why I'm going Puka.
I'm going to go trade Puka. It's close. I mean, for that same argument, like if you're that, I think you can kind of get Puka at a discount almost if you did want to trade for him, just off the sheer fact that Cooper Kupp's coming back and he's probably going to resume that number 1 wide receiver role. Might be a good time to trade for him if Cooper Kupp does get like another injury or if his hamstring gets set back. But Cooper Kupp's just a much better player and like has just proven how much of a fantasy asset he can be. I think before he got hurt last year, he was averaging 19 points a game, which is just absurd. So I'm going to go Kupp.
Isn't Puka averaging more than 19 right now?
It's probably pretty close.
As a rookie?
It's through 3. It's shorter span, though, through, 4 games?
Kupp had more
That's for sure.
touchdowns. Puka's only got 1 touchdown. What do you think, P and Jeff?
Huh? So, okay, as a fantasy owner of Puka and Kupp, I think that they're both going to eat because Matt Stafford is going to have 2 lighter skin receivers on his team that can both eat, okay? And we know that whoever eats breakfast with Matt Stafford is going to have a good time, all right? So I think that they're both going to have a decent year. Puka will drop into that Robert Woods role,
Which isn't good.
Cooper Kupp does what Cooper Kupp does, and they both have fun.
Breakfast for
And that's
3.
all. That's all it's about.
Can we get a have
Having
fun on
fun.
3? 1, 2, 3. Let's have
Have fun.
And that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Oh, I like that, Jeff. That was motivational. I kind of don't disagree with it either. I think I'm probably not trading Puka because I do want to see. Because I mean, Even when they had Odell, Bobby Trees, and Cooper, when they were a Super Bowl team, they all produced. So I don't know. I think that there's a chance that Puka does still contribute and get volume and looks, and they both can be fantasy relevant.
I think there is a path for both of them to be fantasy relevant. I just think if you can trade away Puka right now and get back, I don't know. If you get back like Devonta Smith, that seems, who do you start over?
Puka.
Puka is wide receiver 2 on that team over Devonta Smith as wide receiver 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
Stafford,
move on.
Stafford slangs that thing. Cannot let Jalen Hurts can't slang like Stafford.
Eagles do run it like Stafford's having double the pass attempts this Hurts. So that's
Yeah.
I want to
point
point this out. I do want to point this out because I feel like many people aren't familiar with the Rams offense. Cooper Kupp is always played in the slot. He's a slot guy. That's where he lines up. And if you looked at Puka this season, he's always been out wide. They brought him inside a couple times, but mainly Puka Nacua is an outside guy and Kupp's a slot guy. So I think they both beat because they're playing different spots on the field. It's really where the coverage is. If you're playing zone coverage where the coverage is super strong in the middle of the field, you're going to have Puka wide open on the sidelines there.
Where was Puka lined up when he caught the game winner against Indy in overtime?
You did this last week, and you looked stupid at the end of it. Okay? I'm just going to say that. But it was blown coverage. I watched that play, which I have 10 times now. Kenny Moore miscommunicated with his rookie cornerback there. They both went outside. Nobody went inside. That's why he was wide open, caught that touchdown.
Cooper Kupp also lines up all over.
Yeah, Cooper is not a slot. He's a Triple Crown winner who lines up at every position he needs to.
The receiver who takes the biggest hit when everyone is healthy is going to be Tutu.
I agree.
Yeah. Tutu disappears. Okay. Well, I'll name a trade for candidate now, and I'll make the case for him. My trade for candidate, Anthony Richardson. He's going to be a dog. I think he's only going to get better as the season goes on. He's a rookie, so he's getting a rushing touchdown a game, I think, almost on average. I think maybe one less rushing touchdown.
He's got 4 through 4, is that right? Or 5 through 4?
Is it?
Three,
he missed a game.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he missed a game. I think Anthony Richardson, there's a good argument he finishes as a top 2, maybe even QB1 in fantasy this year. If you can get him now, I would get him now.
That's hot.
He's only going to get better.
All right, I'll start us off here, boys, just because I got the Anthony Richardson knowledge. Last week was his 17th start from high school. Imagine that. Someone was so experienced.
We don't care. We don't care. Who are you trading for? Are you also trading for Anthony Richardson? I don't give a fuck if Anthony Richardson made a rap video or not.
You look stupid last week. Shut up, Mr. 9 and 7.
I just want to know if
Mr. 13-3 is talking right here. Be quiet when the king speaks, okay? So Anthony Richardson is a dog. Just 17 weeks.
No one cares about how many games he's played since high school. Why?
Can I make my point, Big P? Hey, we're missing some offensive linemen. You might want to drop an application at the Colts offense. They could use you.
I don't. Why are you going to trade for him? Do you listen to the question?
Can I make my point, brother? Can I make my point, brother?
All right.
He's 7. Can I finish this without interruption? 17 starts from high school, okay? You're only going to learn more from each start. By the end of the season, he is going to be a top 5 quarterback. And the rushing capabilities when it comes to fantasy is just so valuable. And Shane Steichen, the way he schemes that offense, there's a lot of designed quarterback runs. Like Josh said, first quarterback to ever do it in the history of the NFL, a rushing touchdown in each of his first 3 starts. I think that continues. I don't think he gets a rushing touchdown every week, but there's some that he's going to get too. He could throw the ball. He's not the most accurate, but in terms of fantasy value, I don't think he can put many guys ahead of him.
Here's a
I
fun.
disagree.
What do you got, Hefe? You go.
So, yeah, all right. I think Anthony Richardson will be a top 10 quarterback, but I think he'll be the latter half. I think he's bottom 5 of that top 10. And here's who I rank above him, right? I'm taking Josh Allen.
Dog.
I'm taking Lamar, who has.
Bro, what are we talking about? So who are you trading for? When did this become top 5 QBs in the NFL? The question is, who would you want to trade for? Josh gave Anthony Richardson. He gave Anthony Richardson. No one said you have to give Anthony Richardson. Now we're talking about the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, if he's a top 10 quarterback, yeah, in a 10-person league,
So
I'll
you
trade
want to
for him.
trade
He's
for
a top
him?
10 quarterback. What do
You
you
can
mean?
pick anyone though. You don't have to lock in Anthony Richardson as your trade for player.
Well, then I would trade for QB1, who is Josh Allen. What do you mean?
Okay. Valid. There you go. You
For
heard it.
me, I would opt to not trade for Anthony Richardson in the aspect of this dude does not know how to slide. And he's already had one issue this year of not being able to get down, and he got concussed because of it and missed a game. I think he's going
That
to
hit
have
was in the end
issues.
zone, though.
That is true. But I think they're going to have issues where there's going to be points where he's going to have to start throwing the ball. And he's looked solid throwing, but I don't think he's as good throwing as he is running. Fantasy, he'll probably be fine. I don't think he's going to be good in fantasy going forward. But he's not someone I'm like specifically targeting to trade for when I could just go get better guys that are going to produce. Like I could go get Jalen.
Yeah, but
I could go get
Barcelona-
Jalen. I could go get Mahomes. I could go get Hurts. Like I'm
I'm
not
not-
specifically like going out of my way to go get Richardson. Like if he's sitting on your waiver wire still for some reason, sure I'll go snag him. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna give up any value to go get Richardson.
He's not. I agree with Jake completely. Your time for AR trading has passed. It's not the time to trade for him now. He's too good. He's too hot. Jeff just started listing the top quarterbacks with him. He is a top quarterback for fantasy. You wouldn't like if you're going to trade for Anthony Richardson, you might as well just ask about Lamar and Josh Allen because that's who you're talking about comparatively in fantasy this year. Like it's too late to trade for AR in my opinion. You missed out.
He's
That is
also
fair.
not fantasy-wise, he's not a top 10 quarterback in the league.
No, I get you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I hear what you're saying. Fantasy wise, he's up there though. So if you're going to be talking to AR, you got to be talking about other guys too because he's already established himself as.
I think depending on the fantasy league you're in, there's a decent chance AR is on someone's bench right now. So if you can get him, I'd get him. But
Yeah.
I got two more players. If we want to run through them quickly, we can.
Yeah, you can cook him.
Just go yes or no, honestly, and we'll just fly through these.
So my next trade away candidate, Raheem Mostert, I think he's RB2 on the season right now. I could be wrong, but it's not going to happen the rest of the year. Devon Achan's going to take over. Jeff Wilson might come back. That's a lot of running backs rotating in the backfield. I'm trading him away and getting as much as I can for him right now.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Agree.
Yes.
Yes.
All
I
right.
do agree.
My last trade for candidate, Garrett Wilson. I think Zach Wilson keeps getting better, and Garrett Wilson's going to demand targets. He's going to get fed the rest of the season as Zach Wilson keeps getting better as a quarterback.
I'm going no here.
Yep. I'm
I
trading
agree.
away.
Yes, but not for the same reason.
I agree in some sense. I think he's gonna get fed, but yeah, I do. Overall, I agree. I think you get good value, and you probably don't give up too much to go get him. So yes.
Alrighty.
I'm saying yes, but not because of Zach Wilson, because of Simeon. Some other quarterback's going to take over at some point, and he's going to get the card targets.
Trade him away.
Alrighty, who's doing the next one?
I don't really have a segment. We'll just call it Pat's pick. It's the same pick. Jacksonville in London, money line. That's Pat's pick. Josh Allen on the Jags is still living rent free on Josh Allen and the Bills from the last time they played, where Josh Allen and the Jags sacked Josh Allen and the Bills 3 times, 4 times, however much it was. So he's the real Josh Allen. He's going to continue to be the real Josh Allen. Jags don't lose overseas. Hammer the crap out of the money line. I don't care about your points. You keep your points. Jags win. We all get rich. We're all happy.
Chef, all right, and likewise, I'm going to just go one pick. Chef Jeff's Kitchen, Cowboys money line. Hammer it.
Oh,
Is this tying into our locks of the week then?
yeah, that's fine. We'll head
It's
off
a good
with
time.
the locks. Yep.
All right.
cook
Jake,
something.
you want to go for lock of the week?
I'm gonna cook something up. I don't know where I'm going yet, but let me cook, boys. You go, Connor.
Okay. So let's just talk about a recap of last week locks of the week. Who won? Who lost? I remember I had Anthony Richardson touchdown, so 1-0 for me.
I was 0-1. Musgrave got hurt. Classic.
Yeah,
My
Dak
pick
did
of the
not
week will
throw a
get hurt
pick.
every week.
Yeah, Dak did not throw a pick. Wait, what was your lock of the week, Connor?
Richardson touchdown.
Okay, rushing touchdown. I got you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dak didn't throw a pick, so I lost mine.
Jeff, Josh, how do you guys do?
Yeah, I had Keenan's receptions, and that was just not the game plan.
I went
You had
heavy
who?
on.
Keenan?
Keenan's receptions, and that was just
Mhm.
they ran the ball the heck half.
Oh, I got you.
Justin Herbert had 2 fucking rushing touchdowns. Just
I got
not
you.
the game plan.
My lock was Tank Dell on everything, and they chose Nico as the receiver of the week. So
Yeah, Nico went off. Yeah.
In regards to everyone's locks of the weeks, everyone 0-1 besides the King here, 1-0.
Oh my
Who's
god!
All right,
the king?
That puts
Someone
me at
humbled this
14-3.
Connor.
I'm gonna strike iron while it's hot. Give me Anthony Richardson another rushing touchdown.
This guy.
Okay, give me Christian McCaffrey rushing touchdown.
It's gotta
My
be
lock
it's
of the
gotta
week
be,
is Jalen
it's
Hurts
gotta be
gets a
minus
yard
170 or less. Let's make that a rule because you can't take something that's minus
I
400.
think anything under minus 200 is fair game.
Okay, I like that.
You got a lock, Josh?
Yeah, I'm going Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown. It's gonna happen. Packers rush defense barely exists.
This isn't my lock of the week, but I'm going Oppo. Well, not Oppo, Josh, but a different Raider to score. Not my lock of the week, but Devontae's going to score this week. Revenge game against the Pack. Like you already know, the Raiders have nothing to play for. They're just not going to compete this year. All they have is Devontae, and Devontae's going to go to everyone and just be like, I just want one tutty. I just want one tutty. I want one tutty. And he's going to get fed. He'll get a touchdown. But that's not my lock of the week. My lock of the week is Justin Jefferson in a game they're going to have to throw nonstop. Over 103.5 receiving yards. An absurd over-under for his receiving yards. We're taking the over.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Jair's gonna lock down Ted.
I hope so. I honestly hope so.
He's gonna do the gritty on him every single time he breaks up a pass.
Hit your best gritty, Josh. Let's see it.
All right, let's
stuck in
stick
the
with
chair
the
right now. I'm
Packers
scratching.
Raiders game, yeah? Let's stick with the Packers Raiders game. Rashawn Gary over 1 sack. Over half a sack.
Okay. I like that. He's
He's
been
back.
hot lately.
Is back to are you back?
No, Bakhtiari's on IR.
Hmm.
Bakhtiari got put on
Bakhtiari-
IR last week, so he's out the next 4. Well, next 3, including this one.
He's not. He's barely on the team.
Bakhtiari's played I think 4 games in the last 3 years.
Yeah, they were talking the word retire when he got put on IR. Like, would he retire? He said he didn't want to, but
Yeah, he doesn't want to
He's gonna go
retire
to
when he's
Jet.
getting 12, 14, 15 mil a year to do nothing.
right.
He's gonna go to the Jets.
I think my lock of the week is Joe Shiesty finding his rhythm against this trash Cardinals defense. I just had to look it up. It's 251.5 over yards, so I think Shiesty probably cracks 300 this week, but over 251.5 is my lock.
I also like that. Love it.
Cool.
All right, let's all make a parlay with all our picks, yeah?
Yeah, because we went 1-4 last week, so
Yeah. Well, let's
maybe
go.
we fade them all.
Make a
Yeah,
fade
yeah.
parlay. Fading all our picks.
Fade every pick.
That's mine.
Besides Connors, yeah. Make the parlay 4 fades and 1 hit.
Can't fade the King here.
Rashawn Gary's getting a sack. He's getting a sack.
Okay. I hope so. I hope he gets 3. Let the kid eat.
If I'm still in first place after next week, I'm coming with the WWE belt strapped around my shoulder here, and I'm gonna have a crown on my head, boys. So Don't let me-
17
After
weeks
2
in a
weeks?
season.
I'm the king, bro.
Humble this man.
No one's even close. No one's even close.
I'm 1 game
You
behind.
got that?
No one
Got
Your lock of the week didn't hit. The lock of the week didn't hit, so that counts. So I'm 14-3.
You already got that WWE belt somewhere in your closet, don't you? You don't even have to order it.
No, we sold that in the estate sale, actually. I'll have to get a new one.
Unfortunate.
Hey, if you're selling any furniture, I need it. I just closed on my house.
No, we sold the
Ooh.
house.
Congrats, Hefe.
Thank you.
I feel a housewarming party coming up for the Monday morning
That'd be lit.
quarterbacks.
That would
I
actually be
love it.
lit.
Sir,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
That'd
Once
be
I get
fun.
it furnished.
We can do a pod all together, too, eh?
Do we end the podcast?
Yeah. we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, boys. Week 2 of Monday Morning Quarterback Pod coming out Thursday mornings. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you boys next Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Peace, boys.
Go Colts. Go Colts.